Alright, time for my America's Got Talent Season 7 Semifinals Week 1 recap show. Just to let you know, this was the second straight show where we did not have any buzzes whatsoever. It almost feels like it's turning out that maybe the rest of the show could be buzzer-free, but we'll see what happens in the coming weeks ahead. But anyways, last night was the first week of the semifinals, and here's my review of all the acts that performed. First up was Andrew De Leon, and this time, the song that he sang this time was the Bach version of Ave Maria, this was the third time that this Bach version has been sung on the show, because Barbara Padilla sang it in Season 4 in the semifinals, and Jackie Ivanko sung it in the Final 4 of Season 5. Well, Andrew's performance was pretty good. There was some criticism, though, because they somehow did mention that since Andrew had no formal training in classical music, and I figured since some training can take years, it almost begins to worry as if Andrew really did need it, and it is kind of a concern. But either way, because of all this, Andrew De Leon gets 9 out of 10. Probably not as great as last time, but still not bad. The next up after that was Todd, Oliver, and Irving, and this time Todd's ventriloquism act was more like a nighttime talk show, more like The Tonight Show, like whether it be the late Johnny Carson or Jay Leno, or any other nighttime talk show. So it's Todd Oliver was the host, Irving was the special guest. That's which he asked questions, and Irving joked, and once again, this material was fantastic. It's another great ventriloquism thing. I guess that was another great idea. Looks like, so, yeah. Todd, Oliver, and Irving, 10 out of 10. Not bad. Bad. I mean, fantastic to hear from that. Next up was Donovan and Rebecca, and they did another aerial act. They had some trapeze thing, too. And you know what? This act wasn't that bad. Of course, the worry of the concern was that I'm not too sure if the act would translate to television, though, as much. But still not bad, so Donovan and Rebecca get 9 out of 10. The next up after that was Edon. Now, I didn't have him as a pick to go through back in the past, but somehow he managed to go through anyway. This time, Edon, he sang What Makes You Beautiful as done by X Factor UK finalist One Direction. The performance to me was just okay. The other two guys, Howie and Sharon may have liked it, but Howard said he got a little bit bored. To me, I noticed some pitchiness in that song as well, so for Edon, he only gets 7 out of 10. Probably not going to make it through because of that. The next up after that were the Scott brothers, and once again, they did another bit more of technical dance this time, also with that backdrop. Dad said that the backdrop was kind of a little bit out of focus, as with the dancing. Kind of can be distracting, but and unfortunately, Howie also criticized and said that the Scott Bros didn't make that move of taking their hats off again and throwing them around like they did in the quarterfinals. So I think we may have seen the best of them, but at least they tried their best. So the Scott Brothers, 8 out of 10. The next up after that was Eric Dittelman, and Dittelman, once again, and this is also one of the first times that he even had one of the judges be on stage with him, which meant, and if that happens, that means the judge could not hit the buzzer during it, because Dittelman got Howard on there. Dittelman told Howard to do some drawing and fill in the colors. Then after that, while doing that, he then read the mind, and the first thing he revealed was if they had predicted that they would get a triangle inside a circle, they'd be right. A lot of them, audience held it up, and that was great. Then he spoke to Howard, and then Dittelman revealed the painting, and it was a more detailed, colored-in version of Howard Stern. This time, as also putting the devil's horns and beard to make it as if he looked like Beelzebub. Pardon me. But overall, Dittelman's mind reading keeps getting better and better since he's been on the show. He's been a big favorite. So, Eric Dittelman, 10 out of 10. The next up after that was Turf, and he did some more basic dancing as well as continuing the contortionism. It actually wasn't that bad. The song he did was, I think it's See It Tonight. I don't know who did this, but that song. But Turf actually didn't do too badly with the dancing. Still not a perfect score, though, because of some things, but at least Turf did what he could. 9 out of 10 for him. The next up after that was Bria Kelly, and this time the song that she sang this time was Perfect by Pink. She sang the clean version because the other version uses a curse word that I don't want to say because I could get into big trouble for that. So the performance was just okay to me, but at least she was the first non-classical singer, well, she being that Brie is a country singer. Here, at least she's the first, whether it be country or pop, to not get any X's from the judges in the semifinals. That's from the YouTube. That's from the YouTube side of things. So Bria Kelly only gets 7 out of 10, but at least she did try her best. The next up after that was Joe Castillo, and for the sand art drawing he made this time, although he did have his beret on again, although Howard said to lose the beret, but yet the beret actually does mean something. His painting, he didn't use any animals this time, and for the sand art it formed. At the end, it formed a picture of someone, and the other one being like Jesus Christ, our Lord. It's kind of like as if they were devoting religion to this. But I think Joe Castillo was fantastic. May not have been not completely perfect like last time, but still not bad. 9 out of 10. Then next up after that was William Close and the Earth Harp Collective. The band, they did another great song. I don't know the name of it. Close was playing his harp again, and the singer from the quarterfinals was back again. This time another singer sang with him. And while Close played the harp, and his fiancée also was part of the act. Close actually started by making some drum rhythms on the fiancée, giving it drums, and then there was these new instruments that hang from the ceiling in between, called drum balls, which the other band members hit, and they produced great rhythm, and I like these drum balls. That makes this act so unique. Making up unique instruments that sound pretty fantastic besides the harp. This is why William Close is definitely another one of the favorites to win. So William Close, 10 out of 10. Next up after that was comedian Tom Cotter. This time he also made this thing of this on demand. So how he picked the topic that Cotter discussed, and how he chose college, and Cotter started to have the funny jokes about it, and once again this material was fantastic. He really was giggling, and this is a great reason why the comedy has really been great this year. So, and also after that, the act, of course, Howard did pick the politically incorrect, and that was also a funny brief bit too. That wouldn't have been, because of the name, Howard wouldn't have been the only person to have picked that, because that category was also the name of a show on Comedy Central from the 90s. That also would have been something Bill Maher would have picked if you ever saw that show. But Cotter, 10 out of 10. Have a great. I think this comic is going to go on. Then last but not least were the Academy of Villains, and this time the two songs that they did the dancing to, they start out first with Raise Your Weapon as done by Deadmau5. And had some big TV screens to come back to them, and then after that they sang. Then after that they then did another dance move to Secrets by One Republic, and even had some lip syncing, and it actually wasn't that bad. Of course, some people thought that Howard said that the act was starting to get a little similar, but I'm okay because of that. The Academy of Villains only gets 9 out of 10 this time. Still not bad, but I don't know if they'll make it through or not. So there you go. So therefore, since there'll only be 3 acts going through to the finals, so the finals is going to have a top 6. The 3 acts that I think are definitely going to be moving on to the finals are Eric Dittelman, William Close, and Tom Cotter. But if I do get one of those picks wrong, my only backup act that could also move on could be Todd, Oliver, and Irving. But anyways, we'll see if I get any of them right when tonight's result show comes. And don't forget to watch tonight's result show, also to have performances by Neon Trees and, of course, comedian and Steve Harvey, which, as you know, for all you game show fans, also the current host of Family Feud, which does air on NBC, by the way, since the version is syndicated if you watch it in the afternoon. But anyways, hope you enjoyed my review. I will have another review next week. But until then, thanks for watching.